Wait. Wait. Psalm 65, for the conductor, a psalm of David, a song. Anticipatory silence. The waiting is praise to you, O God, in Zion, and also obedience. You hear prayer in it all. We all arrive at your doorstep sooner or later, loaded with guilt. Our sin's too much for us, but you get rid of them once and for all. Blessed are the chosen. Blessed are the guests at home in your place. We expect our fill of good things in your house, in this your heavenly dwelling, wondrous things. You respond to us with justice, O God of deliverance. You are the trust of all the ends of the earth, the far horizons of the sea. Earth tamer, ocean pourer, mountain maker, hill dresser, muzzler of the sea storm and wave crash of mobs in noisy riot. Far and wide, they all come to a stop. They'll stare in awe and wonder. Dawn and dusk take turns calling, come, join in the rejoicing. Oh, visit the earth. Ask her to join in the dance. Deck her out in spring showers. Fill the God River with living water. Paint the wheat fields golden. Creation was made for this. Drench the plow fields. Soak the dirt clods with rainfall as harrow and rake bring her to blossom and fruit. Snow crown the peaks with splendor. Scatter rose petals down your paths. All through the wild meadows, rose petals. Set the hills to dancing. Dress the canyon walls with sheep, a drape of flax across the valleys. Let them shout and shout and shout. Oh, do they sing. Friends, this is the mystery of the divine. Thanks be to God. Wait. Wait. It often begins in silence. Actually, it almost always does. We've been told, others have tried to convince us, that it's in the noise where it is found. That may be indeed where it gets expressed, the noise, but that's seldom where it begins. It often begins in silence. It almost always does. Listen, I love noise. I love making noise. I love to crank the music all the way up to 11. I love loud, boisterous shouts of joy and exuberance in singing. I love a full belly laugh. I love being a part of the swell of the crowd at an exciting sporting event or a lively concert. I love the noise. But even that, the noise, begins in silence. In the moments before the noise, in the buildup, in the anticipation, in the preparation, in the waiting, in the silence. It's so easy to notice all of the things, all the flowers. We're trained to. We definitely don't want to miss that beauty. But take a moment to consider the seed. That's where it starts. It falls to the ground, and nourished by the soil, the seed germinates, grows unseen for weeks, if not months, silently, undetected, unnoticed, except for within the ground, which nourishes the seed, quietly sharing in its joy and its work. Then mostly unnoticed, the first tiny, tender shoots of luminous green peek out from the topsoil. And from there, who knows, really? All that most anyone sees is, or notices, or appreciates, is the cacophony of color in the spring, through the summer, and then into the fall. The beautiful visual noise, flowers, plants, grass, trees, fruit, all the while, silently, underground. The real work is starting all over again. It often begins in the silence. Seed to the sower and bread to the eater. Anticipatory silence. Waiting. Is praise and also obedience. There's prayer in it all. Quietly, maybe even hundreds of miles offshore, silently unnoticed by everyone, except for maybe the depth of the ocean itself. A gentle breeze creates tiny disturbances on the surface of the water, and the wind begins to blow over them and pushes against the slopes, forcing the ripples to grow. As it grows, wind creates pressure on the wind-facing side, and a vacuum is created on the opposite side, both propelling the water forward and upward. And then once the wind stops or the wave travels beyond the impact of the wind, it becomes a swell. And these smooth waves can and often do travel thousands of miles across the ocean with very little energy loss. Then the magic happens. The swell reaches the shallows near the coastline. And that's when the bottom of the wave drags across the ocean floor, slowing down the water underneath, causing the top, the crest, to bunch up and to rise and eventually to break on the shore in raging, beautiful, dangerously captivating whitecaps, crashing on the shore with a roar that no lion on the Masai Mara plain can match. And it's awesome in the truest sense of the word. One can hear it, feel it, and experience its power even from a distance. But it all begins in silence. Always beginning there, unnoticed by anyone or anything except for the depth itself. Anticipatory silence. Waiting is praise and also obedience. There's prayer in it all. It's in this silence. It is this silence that beckons us to notice the inbreaking beauty of the songbird's joyful morning melody. It is the silence that invites us to notice the mystery and the majesty of the rising of the moon. It's in this silence that calls us to see the luminosity of the color green as if for the very first time. There in the silence is found the creche of the tall, slender cypress, the nursery of the fragrant myrtle, the cradle of the oak, the redbud, the hyacinth, the you, the me, the us, the we. There is the birthplace of praise in the midst of the silence. We can only sing, shout, exuberantly celebrate in praise because of the silence. We can train our ears to notice where it all begins. Allow ourselves to get swept up in the awe of it all. It is not frivolity. It's a necessity. And it begins in the depths of each one of us, of all things, in the silence. It can happen no other way. Anticipatory silence, the waiting, is praise to you, O Holy One, and it's also obedience. For there's prayer in it all. Far and wide, they will come to a stop. They'll stare in awe and wonder. Dawn and dusk take turns calling us, come, join in the rejoicing. Along with the earth, we have been invited to join the dance. See, she is decked out in spring showers, the God river with living water, the wheat fields painted golden. Creation was made for this. The peaks, snow-crowned with splendor, rose petals scattered down your paths. All through the wild meadows, rose petals. The hills have been set to dancing, the canyon walls dressed with live sheep, flax draped across the valleys. Let them shout and shout and shout. Listen, oh, how they sing. Let's join in the song. But first, let's wait. And begin exactly where it all begins. in the silence.